Yo, what's up, guys? I got a ton of player props for you tonight on PrizePicks. So I have a 5 flex to turn 500 bucks into 5,000. Could be a big payout night. And I say this in every video, but I'm literally just showing you guys. I made this video earlier about underdog fantasy. I'm just showing you guys what I'm putting my own money on. So I found a lot of value on PrizePicks, and the tool we're going to start out on is called the Odds Jam Odds Screen. So you just go to Screen, and then you go to Odds Screen, and that's essentially how you get to it. And the bet I have is right here. I'm on Spencer Strider over 9 strikeouts, right? And you may be like, oh, that's a high number, Alex. Why are you on it? And essentially what you need to realize is, as a sharp bettor, I mean, you literally have dozens of data points. There are dozens of data points posting lines on Spencer Strider over under for his strikeouts in all of the sports books, right? Every single one. They all have his line at 9.5 strikeouts. Right? You're also going to notice Underdog Fantasy, which is a direct competitor to PrizePicks. They have Strider's line at over under 9.5 strikeouts. PrizePicks is the discrepancy. Their line is too low, right? They have him at 9. Right? So PrizePicks is too low relative to the market, so we want to take the over. If you look at someone like Edward Cabrera, all the sports books have his line at 5.5 Ks. There's no major discrepancies in the odds. Literally every book has his line at 5.5 Ks. No major discrepancy in the odds, so there's no value, right? That's not a player prop you want to go with. You want to look for discrepancies in the market, just like Spencer Strider, right? So PrizePicks is at 9. Their direct competitor, Underdog Fantasy, is at 9.5. All the sports books are at 9.5, so we want to take the over. So you can use this odds screen. You can look at the NBA, you can look at any markets you want, but that's the first play that I went with for tonight. So to continue on, another tool I use to find value on PrizePicks is called the Odds Jam Positive Expected Value, Positive EV tool. And the way this tool works is pretty simple. I mean, it'll show you bets on sports books like FanDuel, but also bets on PrizePicks. Right? So I've broken this down before, but if you look at PrizePicks, you may get confused, right? How are there plays on PrizePicks? How are you comparing PrizePicks to the sports books when PrizePicks, right, they don't have odds on their platform, right? Like you look at DraftKings, there's a bunch of numbers, there's a bunch of odds. You look at PrizePicks, there's no odds. But what's interesting about PrizePicks is this is a fixed payout platform. So I say this all the time, but I mean, it's literally the most important thing in PrizePicks strategy for you to understand is PrizePicks is a platform that they don't change your payouts based on you selecting over or under, right? So literally any 2 picks you select, doesn't matter if you take overs or unders, you're going to be getting a 3x payout, right? So if we switch this to smart, hey, you're still getting a 3x payout, right? If you switch this to his over, you're still getting a 3x payout. So basically the strategy for beating PrizePicks, because they're not varying your payout based on you selecting over or under, is you want to find spots where sportsbooks have one side really heavily favored. So you're going to notice for tonight, just following the data, Giannis, his over is really heavily favored, right? All the sportsbooks have his over around like minus 140 odds. So DraftKings has it at minus 135, Caesars minus 148, as well as FanDuel. Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, they have him at minus 141. So all the books are telling you, yo, Giannis is a lot more likely to go over as opposed to under. So I say this, also, I say a lot of things all the time, but the point is like my betting strategy, how I make money sports betting, it's not that complicated, right? You look for value in the market. And because PrizePicks is this weird type of platform where they're not changing your payouts based on you hitting over or under, you just want to find spots, right, where sportsbooks have one side heavily favored. So here, Giannis's over is heavily favored. All the books have his over, 26.5 points, heavily favored. So when you're using Odds Jam, all you want to do is find picks on PrizePicks, right, in green and in bold. So you can see here it's Giannis over 26.5 on PrizePicks. And these are all just essentially plays where sportsbooks have one side heavily favored. I mean, you look at PrizePicks, they have tens of thousands of different lines, so you don't need to bet on every player, right? You don't need to bet on every game. Most of these plays are not profitable, right? Most bets are not profitable. As a sharp bettor, most bets aren't profitable. You're looking through these tens of thousands of lines on PrizePicks. I mean, literally, there's tens of thousands of lines on PrizePicks, so you're scanning through All this to find those rare few betting opportunities where you're actually getting a profitable bet, right? Where is PrizePicks slipping up? So you can see here, PrizePicks has Giannis's over at 20, or they have his line at 26.5. All the books are telling you, yo, he's a lot more likely to go over as opposed to under. So PrizePicks is slipping up, right? They're giving us too much value. And if you look at Giannis, on Underdog Fantasy, they have his over-under at 27.5 points. You're getting a full point of value, right? Giannis over 26.5 is great value to Underdog Fantasy as well. They have his line at 27.5. So, of course, I'm not saying this bet is a lock, right? That's such BS. There's no locks in sports betting. This is, we're betting. We're risking capital. But all the books are telling us, his over is heavily favored, so that's a great player prop to include in your entry. Then I also took Rodriguez under 2.5 shots on goal. So another tool, you can use, which works in a relatively similar way to the positive EV tool, is the fantasy screen. So the fantasy screen just shows you don't want to play the bets in red, you just want to take the picks in green, but it just uses sportsbook odds to show you spots where books have one side heavily favored. So for Dillon Brooks, the most loved player in the NBA, all the books have his under 15.5 points plus assists as the heavily favored outcome, right? FanDuel has his under at -158, DraftKings -145. So this is a great player prop to include in your PrizePicks entry. All the books are telling you, his under's a lot more likely. For Giannis, all the books are telling you, his over's a lot more likely. So we're following the data as a sharp bettor. So what I ended up going with is right here, Smart under 9.5 rebounds plus assists, Hachimura under 14.5 rebounds plus assists, Boyd over 5 strikeouts, Brooks under 15.5 points plus assists, Rodriguez under 2.5 shots on goal. Sorry about that. Betting 500 to win 5,000. And then I also have a 6 flex here. So Giannis over 26.5, Jackson under 20.5, Smart under 9.5 rebounds plus assists, Hachimura under 14.5 points plus assists, Strider over 9Ks, Boyd over 5Ks. So, bunch of player props all found with data, just following value. Data-driven sports betting, it may not be the hottest thing in the world. It requires work, it's time intensive, but it prints money, right? It literally prints money long term. So hopefully this video was helpful. Let's make some money.